The Berlin Marathon broke the world record for most finishes in history, but it was not legends like Eliud Kipchoge and Kenenisa Bekele who finished it. In a shocking turn of events, it was Ethiopian freshers who claimed the finish line. As the race unfolded, something unexpected happened. The men's event featured a jaw-dropping victory, while the women's race saw an incredible performance, achieving the third fastest time in the marathon's 50-year history. What made this race so memorable? Join us and explore this unforgettable race and relive the moments that defined the day for both the men and women. The 50th Berlin Marathon was a celebration of speed, endurance, and unforgettable moments. This year's race attracted a record-breaking 58,212 runners from 161 nations, all eager to tackle the legendary course, where more world records have been set than anywhere else. Although the marathon took place just 1 month after the Olympics, where many top stars competed, excitement remained high. However, this race marked a notable absence. For the first time since 2014, neither Kenya's Eliud Kipchoge nor Ethiopia's Kenenisa Bekele participated. Kipchoge still holds the Berlin Marathon course record of 2 hours 1 minute and 9 seconds, which he set in 2022, a record only broken last year by Kelvin Kiptum in the Chicago Marathon, with an astonishing time of 2 hours and 35 seconds. Tragically, Kiptum passed away in a car accident in his native Kenya earlier this year. In the men's race, the focus shifted to a new generation of elite runners, and it didn't disappoint. Ethiopia's 24-year-old Milkesa Mengesha stole the spotlight to win the 50th Berlin Marathon. Mengesha displayed remarkable strength in the final stretch, outlasting Kenya's Sabrian Kotut and Ethiopia's Stephen Kiprop. Meanwhile, in the women's race, Tigist Ketema also shone brightly. But how did Ethiopia's Milkesa Mengesha win the 50th Berlin Marathon against a field of elite runners? And what made Tigist Ketema victory in the women's race so special? Let's break down the defining moments that set both of these Ethiopian athletes apart and turned a marathon into a race for the ages. Right from the gun, it was clear that this marathon would be a fast one. The race began with a large lead group, a noticeable difference from previous years. With pacemakers setting briskly, the runners completed the first kilometer in just 2:50 minutes. The leaders, including favorites like Tadesse Akili from Ethiopia and Kibiwot Kandie from Kenya, seemed poised to challenge Eliud Kipchoge's 2022 course record of 2 hours, 1 minute, 9 seconds. By the 10-kilometer mark, the elite group had hit a time of 28 minutes 42 seconds, putting them on track for a finish around 2:01. But the furious pace soon started taking its toll. Several runners fell behind, leaving only 12 contenders in the front. As the race progressed, it became clear that Kipchoge's course record was safe for another year. However, the battle for the podium was heating up. At the 25-kilometer mark, Kandie launched his first attack, trying to break away from the pack. His attempt was unsuccessful, but it succeeded in splitting the lead group, reducing it to 8 runners. The real shift came when the pacemakers dropped out, leaving the top runners to battle it out on their own. Mengesha and Kenya's Stephen Kiprop were among those who rushed forward. Kandie, despite his early aggression, couldn't maintain the pace and began to fade. As the kilometers ticked down, the race became a test of mental and physical endurance. With just a few kilometers left, Mengesha and Kotut were neck and neck, both pushing hard for victory. Entering the iconic stretch beneath Berlin's Brandenburg Gate, Mengesha made his decisive move. He found another gear, leaving Kotut behind as he sprinted to the finish line to secure a personal best of 2 hours, 03 minutes, and 17 seconds. Mengesha's strategy of staying calm through the early surges and conserving energy paid off. His ability to maintain his pace in the closing stages, combined with a perfectly timed sprint, allowed him to outlast Kotut, who finished just 5 seconds behind in 2 hours, 03 minutes, and 22 seconds. Stephen Kiprop secured third place in 2 hours, 03 minutes, and 31 seconds. And Heymanadalu came in fourth with 2 hours, 03 minutes, and 54 seconds. It was a remarkable day for the top men, with 4 runners finishing under 2 hours and 04 minutes for the first time in the Berlin Marathon history. It was incredible, especially while the pacemakers were still with us. But when they dropped out, it got really tough. Mengesha said after the race, "I'm so happy with this win. and improving my personal best makes it even more special. I wasn't one of the favorites, which allowed me to stay calm and run my race. The energy from the crowd was amazing. In the women's race, Tigist Ketema of Ethiopia made a statement early on. She broke away from the pack before the halfway point and never looked back. Ketema cruised to victory with a time of 2 hours, 16 minutes and 42 seconds, the third fastest women's time ever recorded in Berlin's 50-year marathon history. Her Ethiopian compatriots, Mestawot Fikir and Bosena Mulati, rounded out the top three, finishing in 2 hours, 18 minutes and 48 seconds and 2 hours and 19 minutes, respectively. Ketema's victory was never in doubt. After building a commanding lead, she maintained her pace, crossing the line with a comfortable margin. "I'm so happy to win here in Berlin," Ketema said. "It's a dream come true to race and win in such a historic marathon. The support along the route was incredible, and I felt strong the whole way." Although no world records were broken, the 50th edition of the Berlin Marathon will be remembered as one of the fastest in history. The combined winning times of Mengesha and Ketema, 4 hours, 19 minutes and 59 seconds, made this marathon the 12th fastest overall and the 4th fastest in Berlin's rich history. For the first time, 4 men clocked under 2 hours and 04 minutes, underscoring the depth of talent in this year's field. As runners celebrated their achievements and the massive crowds cheered them on, the marathon reaffirmed its status as one of the premier events in long-distance running. While the absence of legends like Kipchoge and Kenenisa Bekele was felt, the race still delivered thrilling moments and extraordinary performances. Even without the legendary figures on the course, the race hinted at the dawn of a new era, where emerging talents are now ready to shape the future of marathon running. The 2024 Berlin Marathon marked a turning point, with rising stars like Mengesha and Ketema stepping into the spotlight. With their impressive wins, both athletes have solidified their status as major players in the marathon world. Berlin, once again, proved to be a city where dreams are made, and the limits of human endurance are tested. As the dust settles, the running world will already be looking forward to next year, eager to see if more records can fall on this iconic course. For now, Mengesha and Ketema will bask in the glory of their victories, knowing that they've etched their names into Berlin Marathon history. In the end, this year's race wasn't about breaking records. It was about perseverance, strategy, and heart. And for the thousands of runners who crossed that finish line, whether elite or amateur, the Berlin Marathon was an unforgettable journey of triumph and achievement. As the excitement of the 50th Berlin Marathon fades, the spotlight shifts from the finish line to the inspiring stories of perseverance and triumph shared by every runner. This year's marathon showcased the emergence of new talent, with Milkesa Mengesha and Tigist Ketema stepping into the limelight and proving that the future of distance running is bright. The journey doesn't end here. The world eagerly anticipates the next chapter in marathon history as the running community reflects on the 2024 Berlin Marathon. The anticipation builds as runners prepare for another opportunity to push their limits and chase their dreams on this legendary course. Until next year, let the spirit of the Berlin Marathon ignite a passion for running in all of us, reminding us that every step taken is a step toward achieving our dreams.